Hello, everybody. I'd like to thank everybody who has pointed out to me that some of the things I said on MM2H is actually incorrect. And I'd like to appreciate all you guys. So today I want to present a more accurate view. So it's not so bad as I initially thought it is. So let's watch on and see what is actually the good. And I do an overall summary of what my feelings are towards the new MM2H visa. So, in short, the new MM2H visa is not all bad. There are some good, and in fact, might be good for some. Okay, and let's reflect on some of these details as I give you more, and you'll be quite pleasantly surprised. But some of the things still remain bad. So let's do a roundup at the end of it to see, overall plus or minus. Yesterday, I did a MM2H talk. That was based on initial social media noise that I see. The initial document came out in Malay, so there's a lot of translation. There are a lot of Facebook YouTubers all presenting different views. I gathered all of them, but looks like there's quite a lot of errors. So today, fortunately, a lot of people has given me feedback, and I actually want to present a more accurate view based on what I understand right now. First of all, most important person is a YouTuber, Ryan Koo from Alpha Marketing channel. He's actually an expert in this area. He corrected many of my errors. I welcome you guys to join his YouTube channel to see what was the more accurate view. But let's see what are the things that has come out. First of all, there's not just three MM2H visa right now. There are four MM2H visa. So it's basically the special economic zone, silver, gold, and platinum. Four MM2H visa. Now that's a new development. So everybody's wondering what on earth is the last one, right? I'll talk about that. So broad changes before I go into details. Number one is that the new scheme uses USD. Now, a lot of the initial feedback on the social media, is very against it. But actually, I think it's a very good idea. I'll prefer to put money in US dollar than to put money in Malaysian ringgit because Malaysian ringgit is at high risk of depreciating. US dollar is international currency, so that's the benchmark currency. So instead of putting the requirement in ringgit, they now put a requirement of a fixed deposit in USD. So I think it's a much better change. However, buying a house is a must. Okay, buying a house is a must. I'm not so sure right now, and I hope someone can tell me whether the existing house owner of Malaysian house count or don't count. Because I have one right now, there's no reason for me to buy another one. A very interesting development. You cannot get an MM2H visa if you rent. Okay, so for sure, rental is out now. So this thrown a lot of people options out. So you have to buy, right? The question is buy what, right? But but so these are the two interesting development. Let's go into detail. So right now, the most important thing is that I've seen that I've got wrong is that the minimum stay is not 60 days, it's 90 days, okay? Cumulatively in a year. That makes it even more difficult for me. So you gotta stay for 3 months. And I think that's something that we have some struggle. I will have some struggle with. It can be fulfilled not just by the principal applicant. It could be also by the dependent. I hope it could be a cumulative. That means I got 5%. Each one stay. 20 days, 20 days, 20 days, 20 days. So it's 100 days, right? That kind of thing. I'm not so sure. I don't think someone can correct me on this. Okay, 3 months they already kicked me out of this visa already. For dependents, in need your dependent as long as you are below 21 years old, it can be part of the MM2H visa. Or if you're above 21 years old, if you are unemployed I think it's N, okay, and unmarried, you could be also part of this. Interestingly, they include children with disability, parents, parent-in-law, and also foreign maid. All right, foreign maids. Like some of you are very attached to your domestic helper. You can bring them along under this MM2H visa as well. Okay, the rest of it, to my opinion, not so important. Okay, but I think this is a very interesting change. Not all good, but the change is the US dollar requirement, which I think is the most important. Okay. So for the platinum category, the amount for the platinum category is very high. You need to put in a fixed D or 1 million USD. You can withdraw it 50% after your approval of MM2H visa. So that's very good. You don't need to wait for 1 year. So the minute it's approved, you can immediately use it for housing, education, tourism, and blah, blah, blah. The one-off fee, okay, is 200,000, 200,000, which is some frightening number. This, I think, is paid to the government. There's an agent fee of 70,000 ringgit. There's a typo here. It's not 700, 70,000 ringgit. And it's mandatory for you to own a $2 million house or more and not allowed to sell it for 10 years, okay? And there's a and the good thing out of this thing is you get an MM2H visa for 20 years, okay, 20 years, and you are allowed to use this visa to use it for business and for employment and things like that. So I think that's the key difference. The gold category, fixed D of 500,000, okay, one-off fee of about 3,000, agent fee about 50,000 ringgit. So the fixed deposit for the gold category is 500,000 USD, right? And again, you can withdraw half of it for housing or that. So everything is in USD right now, and it's not so bad. USD, I don't suffer the depreciation, frightening depreciation everybody is scared of. Of course, some people may have a view that USD is not stable and that kind of thing. That's a different story. But this one gives you a visa validity of 15 years, but you cannot use this visa to work or to do business. If you want that, then you can apply separately, which I think is fine. Okay. So between the first one and second one, I think it's a big jump in the one-off fee. One is 200,000, which is quite insane. Okay. So I think most people will either go for this or the silver. And then the silver category, there is a 150,000 USD requirement as compared to the other one, which is 500,000 or 1 million. This one gives you 5 years. 5 years. The agent fee is 40,000, which is still very high. This one, you're mandatory to buy a house worth 600,000. In Singapore terms, probably about almost 200,000. So it's not allowed to sell for 10 years. 200,000, you have to buy a condo because any landed property, most of it is 1 million and above by law for foreigners. So I think it's a condo kind of ish kind of thing, right? And by the way, condos are getting more and more expensive as well. Okay, and you can renew it every 5 years and pay a small fee. So I think this one quite good. Okay, quite good. I think this is the one that I feel that is more acceptable. This is the new category. Okay, special economic zone. I think SFZ got special financial zone or something like that. And this one, applicants must be 21 years and above. The fixed D required is only 65,000 if you are between 21 to 49 years old, and you are 50 plus like me, 32,000 only, right? In a licensed financial institution, okay? And the agent's fee is still frightening high at 40,000, but the one-off fee is low, okay? And you still have to buy a residential property, but this one is subjected to the state requirement. That means if Johor is requirement, go to Malacca is requirement. And the minimum stay requirement, okay, is still the same. I think it's about 90 days, okay? And this is valid for 10 years, renewable, which is quite good, okay? With this visa, you still cannot be used to work or employ, which I think most of the retirees are not interested in that, okay? And can be renewed every 5 years as well. So not bad, okay? You apply once, you get 10 years. Thereafter, you get extension of 5 years, 5 years. So this one turned out to be the most attractive one. However, I need to say, the special economic zone right now, I think, is the Mandini area, which I'm not familiar with the place. The other one is Forest City. So talk about Forest City, everybody listen really all scared. Because right now it's a ghost town. So I think this is where the Malaysian government tried to solve a big ghost town problem by introducing something more attractive to help the vacancy problem in Forest City and some of the other areas. So I think this is quite an interesting development. I don't know how much is Forest City worth right now. Okay, how much does it cost to buy a house? But I think that this is turned out to be a most attractive option. So for me, I think this is a new development. Okay, not all good for me. In fact, just the stay requirement is just too high for me. But I think for a lot of people, this might be a palatable option. So think about it. It's not all bad. It's not very good also. There's some good that came out of it compared to what I previously understand. Okay, so it's new development. Okay, new development. You decide for yourself whether how good it is or whatsoever. So of all the four MM2H visa, clearly this new development turns out to be the most attractive because it requires the lowest USD deposit requirement. But buying a house is not a small decision. Buying a house in places like Forest City is even bigger. I almost, my personal view, and I don't think it's fair. Okay, my personal view is that it's almost buy and write off. That place. I'm not even going to stay there. It's too so far away from JB and things like that. But at least that's an option right now. You can go to the Mandini area. I've never been there before. Maybe one day I should go there and take a look. Some of you all who have been there, please let me know how exciting or how good or how bad the place is. But clearly right now, I need to say a lot of people think of renting. Renting is not an option now. You have to have a house. Okay. I already have a house. I hope and I think the government should allow that as a requirement for me to apply MM2H. But let's see whether that will come to pass. In a nutshell, I think the new MM2H visa, it's still bad because they require you to buy a house. That's a very big if. So rental is not option. So I think what they want to do is to attract, only people with high net worth. And more importantly, they also want to solve their country's, oversupply or something like that, those kind of property problem. This one clearly has a few implications. Number one is that this would possibly cause property prices to have some uplift because you want a visa, you must want to do that. Or it might even cause the MM2H visa to be not so attractive and people don't want it anymore. So I think that they're trying to solve a few problems with the MM2H visa. I'm not so sure whether how attractive is it now. Let me know your feedback, okay? But it ain't as bad as what I portrayed yesterday, but it's still, not as attractive as we all hope it to be. So let me know your feedback, either here in my Facebook, sorry, either here in my YouTube channel, okay, or my Telegram channel, Lu1865, and I'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.